Hey, it's Tom
and Mike
from Take Time to Travel.
Marbella, Spain's old town is postcard perfect, with its historic narrow streets filled with lots of plants and flowers, as well as many attractive shops and boutiques, and of course tons of eateries with delicious food. Today, we're going to show you all of it, including the top attractions, hidden gems, and best restaurants in this Marbella Old Town travel guide.
We'll start in the picturesque Plaza Altamirano, which has these gorgeous bougainvillea vines climbing up the side of the building, as well as a few patios stretching out into the square, and a peekaboo view of the clock tower in the distance. Then we'll walk along the quaint pathways, past the many different shops and boutiques, and amongst the charming old buildings.
Continuing to explore, we'll stroll through the cute little laneways, filled with tiny tabernas and eateries that lead out to delightful squares like Plaza de la Victoria. It has these lovely jacaranda trees in the middle, as well as a nice fountain and cafes, like Churrería Marbella, where we decided to stop, sit on their terrace, and order some scrumptious looking food. This huge wheel of churros, with a cup of melted chocolate to dip. We've had churros lots of times before, but never like this. They're lighter, airier, and less sweet than the Mexican churros, making them perfect for soaking up the hot chocolate.
Just around the corner is another great option for a sweet treat called Kafein Coffee and Kitchen. They have a mouth-watering variety of pastries, desserts, and cakes available, as well as some excellent breakfast options too. We grabbed a seat on their terrace, which was the perfect spot for people watching, and ordered a few different sweets. The pistachio cream croissant, the freeze croffle, a croissant and waffle hybrid topped with chocolate and artisanal ice cream, and the pistachio New York roll for us to share.
The New York roll's pastry was loaded with pistachio cream in the middle, as was the pistachio croissant. Another day, we also shared the pistachio tiramisu with mascarpone, which was super moist, flavorful, and had a huge portion. They all tasted amazing, and as you can see, we do love pistachio, even though it was a little bit messy.
After all of those sweet treats, let's walk off a few calories and head into the heart of the old town to Plaza de los Naranjos, also known as Orange Square, because of all of the orange trees in the middle of the plaza. There's also lots of restaurants and eateries with terraces sprawling out onto the walkways, as well as pretty blue flower pots hanging from walls and a nice little water fountain. It's a must-visit in Marbella's Old Town. Exploring the streets beside Orange Square, there's lots of shopping choices for all kinds of different clothing, shoes, souvenirs, and of course some restaurants too, like Picoteos Marbella. We grabbed a seat on their terrace and Mike ordered a Cruz Campo beer to drink, and I chose the Tinto de Verano, which is similar to sangria, followed by the torta morcilla with blood sausage, flame goat cheese, caramelized onion, thyme, and rosemary. This was our first time trying blood sausage, and it was surprisingly delicious, especially paired with the goat cheese and caramelized onions.
Next was the mushrooms with aioli, which was a tasty combination. After that was the ratatouille with chorizo shavings, the spinach and chickpea stew, a typical dish from Seville, and the ropa vieja stew with shredded beef and chickpeas. Plus, we got 50% off the stews and mushrooms since we made a reservation with the Fork website, making this a super cheap and tasty option. But let's continue on our tour and make our way back through Orange Square.
On the other side of the plaza is this white wall adorned with lovely blue flower pots, the perfect place for a picture. And just behind is part of the Muralla Urbana fortress walls, which was originally a Moorish citadel whose ancient walls date back to the 10th century. Here you can find remnants of Roman capitals embedded within the wall if you look close enough. Beside the fortification is the charming Plaza de la Iglesia and the Church of Our Lady of the Incarnation, the largest and most important in Marbella.
Now backtracking past the beautiful flower pot wall and the many shops and stores, There's even more great spots for a photo on our way towards another one of the Old Town's bustling areas, along Calle Peral Walking Street, where we saw even more restaurants and patios, like El Bocaron, a popular wine and tapas bar, where we had dinner with my mom. They have a nice terrace outside, but it was full. So after a 10-minute wait, we followed the server inside and were seated in the bustling main dining room.
We began our meal with Tinto de Verano and a bottle of Victoria beer to drink, followed by the croquettes with serrano ham and manchego cheese, the butternut squash curry with halloumi cheese, and the Cajun spice salmon with avocado and mango sauce, alongside the skate wing with pickled lemon and crispy capers. Next was the mixed fried fish with butter crushed peas and tartar sauce. We also shared the beef satay skewers with peanut sauce and a side salad, and the Thai-style sea bass with garden herbs, before getting some dessert, the white chocolate cheesecake with roasted hazelnut, which, just like everything else, had a nice presentation, was full of flavor, and tasted delicious. We can see why El Bocaron is always so busy and often has a lineup.
After that, we'll continue to stroll along Calle Ancha, another one of the Old Town's gorgeous walking streets. It's lined with inviting terraces sprawling out into the middle, as well as some gorgeous flowers and vines covering the buildings. Near the top of the street is the quaint Plaza Santo Cristo, where you can even watch a flamenco show. Plus, the side streets off of Calle Ancha are stunning. The narrow pathways are lined with whitewashed buildings, vines, flowers, and tons of potted plants. If you wander around back here, you can really find some hidden gems, like this place serving typical Andalusian cuisine called Oal Elgayo. We began with a couple of pints of Cruz Campo beers to drink, along with some bread, olives, and pickled veg. Then we shared the homemade chicken croquettes, which were a good portion size and quite tasty. Next was a Spanish tortilla made with eggs, potatoes, and onions. We really do love Spanish tortillas, even though this one was very hot and burned my mouth.
For our mains, we ordered the pork and tomato sauce with French fries, as well as the garlic rabbit, also served with fries. Everything was a great value, and we got to pet the neighbors' puppers for free at the end of the meal. Next, we'll make our way through the Old Town in the evening, when the streets become even busier, with people looking to dine at one of the many restaurants and patios, creating quite the enchanting atmosphere. We'll head over to another amazing restaurant that mixes Argentine beef and Asian flavors called Nativo. We made an early reservation with the Fork website to get a 50% discount on food and got a seat on their patio.
We were served an aperitivo made of guacamole and crisps as part of the cover charge, along with some fresh buns and butter. Then for appetizers, we shared the fresh tuna tartare with crunchy deep-fried avocado, kimchi mayo, and egg yolk, as well as the caramelized Thai beef salad with teriyaki sauce, strawberry, onion, and coriander. Then for our mains, we also shared the pan-fried sea bass served with wok-fried vegetables and champagne lime sauce, as well as the crispy duck confit with wok-fried veg and a mango curry sauce, and the red tuna tataki with salad, ginger, wasabi, and kimchi mayo. Everything that we chose had a wonderful presentation and tasted delicious. Plus, the duck was very tender and had a super crispy skin, giving it a unique consistency almost like crispy pork belly. Then to finish, we shared the warm chocolate brownie with pistachio ice cream.
Well, that was a lot of food, so let's wander a little bit and walk about 5 minutes over to Calle San Cristobal, where you can enjoy these picturesque views with the plant-lined street without the big crowds. Some of the other nearby streets are pretty cool too. On the other side of the Old Town, there's the Mercado Municipal de Marbella, or the town market. This indoor market has lots of different stalls selling an assortment of produce and vegetables, as well as fresh fish and seafood, and a few places to grab some tapas, meats, cheeses, or to sit down for a bite to eat at the place we're going to called Fiesta El Bar del Mercado.
They have a surprisingly large terrace out back, which is where we sat and ordered a couple of large Victoria beers to drink. Then we were given a complimentary bread basket, followed by an assortment of small plates, a chicken tikka masala tapa, a couple of molletito carne de smecha small meat sandwiches, the ensaladilla rusa or Spanish potato salad tapa, the langostinos al pil pil, which are prawns in pil pil sauce, the Spanish tortilla made with eggs, potatoes, and onions, and the carne mecha casera, which is the same meat as the sandwiches. Everything was tasty, and there was more than enough food to share. Plus, it was an amazing deal with all of the food costing about 18 euros.
We liked it so much, we came back a second time and ordered some more of the small meat sandwiches as well as the arroz mixto del señorito, which we had to pre-order a couple of days in advance. The mixed paella for 2 people was a large portion filled with rice, chicken, squid, and vegetables. Mike couldn't wait to try it, but it was too hot at first. However, after it cooled down, the paella tasted excelente. Plus, it was the best price we'd seen in Marbella.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our tour of Marbella's beautiful old town, and that we gave you some good ideas on where to eat. We'd really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and check out our video of what to do and where to eat in Porto Banús. And remember, take time to travel. Catch you on the next one.